Double check. I've been like paranoid ever since it like created that second that second link. There we go. Yeah, it looks like we're good.
Oh yeah. I'll pull this. I'll pull this back off,
Okay.
but if you want me to walk it around,
Yeah, you should walk it around.
let
The
me
chair. That chair looks nice and comfy though.
Yeah, it's really cool. Am I good?
You're like sideways.
Oh,
I don't know.
that's how I had it yesterday.
Oh, that's weird. Hold on. Let me just back us back out. No, yeah. You're like sideways.
Why is it doing that?
I don't know. Oh, that's better. That's the right way. Ooh. Look at that fancy light. Fat Man Zoom is out. What's up, everybody? We'll see if he comes back in here, and he should. We'll see him in a second. But what's up? Welcome to Own the Chaos. My name is Brad. Fat Man Zoom will be back in just a sec. There he is. Are we good?
Literally couldn't.
Okay. We'll try this one more time.
You couldn't even make it one show.
What?
Said you
I was
couldn't
by
even
myself. What was I supposed to do?
Just chill. Just do your computer stuff. Still doesn't work. What did I do? Hold
Do
on.
my computer stuff.
Did I do something yesterday to make it landscape mode? Because I haven't changed my computer.
Did you turn sideways?
Yeah, I haven't changed my. Yeah, I did.
Oh, that's weird.
That sucks. I mean, that's fine. I'll just turn this.
Yeah. Yes.
So I gotta remaneuver this iPod a little bit, or this tripod.
Okay.
But this should work like this.
Oh yeah, that'll be fine. There's gotta be something in your computer set or your camera settings that maybe like it's locked that way for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I know for sure I had it the other way yesterday, but that's fine.
That light bar's legit though, isn't it?
Yep. This actually works better because now I can see myself. Yesterday I couldn't see myself. So I switched camera angles. You can see the kitchen.
Bro, yeah, that place is nice. Now I'm out of focus. There we go.
All right. I'm gonna be slightly off center, I think. Boom. And then
There you go, yeah.
come on down.
Come on down.
The Papa.
Boom. Right there.
Good.
Everybody got a straight shot of Fat Man Zoom's crotch. Oh man, you ready?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Own the Chaos. My name is Brad. That is Fat Man Zoom. The stock market is crazy and chaotic. We made it our mission to help you guys own it, and it is a fantastic Monday. Fat Man Zoom, my account is very, very happy. Let's hit him up with the starting five. You got him?
Nope, I just realized I'm not ready.
That's all right. That's all right. I got you. Eric Brands, Sean Ethier, Rudy Brown, Sam Cisneros, and Savvy Money Show. You are the starting five, which I think Eric Brands, correct me if I'm wrong, Eric, but I think that's also Eric Scarl. Might have changed his name on me. But is my mic sounding different? I don't know. Somebody let me know, but I think I sound pretty good. I did a couple mic checks, so we'll see. But what's up, Fat Man Zoom? How's your account doing?
Your I think your mic sounds like peaking a little bit.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I can turn it down some. Let me see here. Test, test, test.
No, it
That
still sounds like that.
still sounds like it? A little tinny. Okay. Interesting. Huh. I can
Pride.
turn my. Huh?
Bro, I gotta tell you, while you're doing that, I'll tell you this funny story. I had a old client text me, and I
Yeah.
started to respond back, and then I got actually I was calling you back, and the text was still open. It was never sent, so it was in my pocket, and it either like auto text or just in my it just did something in my pocket, and the text said, "Yes, I'm a big." It said, "I'm bad asshole semi. What did it say? Semi. Oh God, semi.
Uh-oh. Hold on. Hold on.
Are you saying something? Can you guys hear me? Are you saying something? Oh, you guys can hear me. Oh. Looks like it's the Fat Man Zoom solo show today, people. I think my sound is good. What's up, Steve Jackson? We might have to load. I guess Brad's figuring it out. Anyways, while we're doing that, I'll go ahead and give you guys a tour of the Airbnb if you want to check it out. Let me flip this bad boy around. So I'm in Nashville. For those of you guys don't know, this is my setup. Music City pillow. Got our light, computer.
Hello?
Got a deck out here.
Ooh. I think we got some.
Oh, I think I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's kind of low, but I can hear you.
It's low.
Let me just finish this up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kitchen. They got all the nice touches. Look at these little mints. I love these things. They got me some gifts, some pirate booty, some Rice Krispie treat. The bedroom's pretty badass. Look at that.
Oh shit, that looks really
Wallpaper. It's pretty cool too. I like this wallpaper. Bathroom. Walk-in closet. I don't know what I need that for. Kitchen. There it is, guys.
Okay. Am I still low?
Yeah, you sound kind of low.
All right, let me turn me up. Whoa. I'm like spiking and then not spiking. I'll turn myself up here. Is that good? I think we're just gonna roll with that.
Oh yeah, you're good.
Well, Mar says whether the market is up or down, one thing you can count on is that we will be having technical difficulties, and that is the truth.
I want to get a little closer because all right, let's get this party started, man.
Let's do it. The place looks sick though, bro.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a little bit more comfortable. I'm more comfortable now.
Cool.
I love the place. We were at a different Airbnb for you guys who saw the guitars. It was like a guy group, so there was 8 of us. Everybody left. I'm staying for a few extra days, but that was a really nice place. But I like this. It's a 1-bedroom, really good location right next to Nissan Stadium where the Titans play.
It looks really nice. Looks really nice.
No guitars in this Airbnb, Jeff. All right.
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
So,
camera keeps.
Let's just welcome everybody again, guys. Welcome to On the Chaos. I'm Fat Man Zoom. That's Brad on the other side of the screen. Typically, we're in studio together. I'm in Nashville. He's in our home base of Baltimore, Maryland. But the show must go on. So every Monday through Thursday, 3:30 p.m. Eastern time, we are live discussing what's going on in the market. Today, we have some cool topics. We have what we think is where, well, we always try to play chess. We're moving one step ahead. Well, we think maybe 1 or 2 steps ahead, a play that there's not a lot of attention, but we think there's going to be more attention in the near future. Stay tuned for that. We also have conversation around a court ruling around a gig economy bill that affects Uber, Lyft, share driving in general. So that's an interesting conversation because that was actually ruled as unconstitutional. So how that impacts the stocks is going to be really important. And last but not least, we got some pen conversation happening surrounding legislation in North Carolina. So we have really good topics, a wide range of topics. Hope you guys are interested in that and excited about what we have in the conversation. But I mean, just as this general market conversation, Brad, it's been a great day in the market.
Yeah, it's been an absolute monster of a day. It seems as if people aren't afraid of a potential tapering talk or anything like that as far as the Fed's concerned. And Dr. Scott Gottlieb came out today, said, quote, "If you look at the data in Florida, cases day over day are coming down for every age category except for children under the age of 18 because you are now seeing outbreaks in schools driving the infections." So that also plays a factor. And not to say that this will or will not continue, but some positive catalysts from all from all areas, it would seem, for sure.
Yeah, great day. I think the question really becomes, what we always ask, is this a blip on the radar, or do you think you're going to see a continued bullish run through the rest of the week?
I think that we could see a potential bullish run throughout the rest of the week, barring that, nothing gets said that surprises anybody or takes anybody off guard as far as the Fed meeting is concerned. If we start to see more of the cases fall off and this kind of start to kind of take place everywhere else, because we have to remember Florida was like one of the hardest hit areas. It was one of the first areas that saw Delta. So if this plays out throughout the rest of the country, I think we could see a continued move to the upside. But that's an if. There's no guarantee that will happen. But it seems as though we're starting to see this kind of play out the way that we saw it in Britain and India and Israel. So again, just want to stress this doesn't guarantee that that's going to happen here, but it looks as if preliminarily that it might be playing out that way.
Nice. And I want to get into some moves that you've had today and how you've played the market. But first, I want to talk about the biggest move you made. I think the biggest gainer for you today, and one of your bigger moves. And we talk all the time about playing chess, not checkers. It's easy to get caught up in the conversations that are existing right now and try to always chase sort of like what's currently happening, when we think the move is let's play 2-3 moves ahead and let's go where the attention will be, not where the attention is. And that may be oil. Oil had a great day today. OIH up 5%, Marathon Oil as well up about 5%. But then you look like at the Exxons, the BPs, the Chevrons, up about 2 to 3% overall. They did very well. And you've said this, like, even though oil has been kind of beaten down, you don't think that they're going to stay down here that long, and you're very bullish on oil. Is this sort of the beginning of the run, and should the attention be in oil right now?
I think so. I mean, this has been something that I've been kind of like beating the drum on for quite some time. If we take a look at the XLE, which is this is the daily chart of the XLE, which is the energy ETF, it has gotten absolutely pummeled since middle of July, and I think that a lot of this has resulted in a fear of lack of demand with travel and that sort of thing. Because the Delta has been wreaking havoc on these types of plays. I think during this whole downtrend, I've been adding to my particular position in OIH. Now, if you look at OIH, this has been one that's actually lagged the rest of the energy industry. So this is one that you can see. We can just pull this out to the pull this out even further. This is on the daily chart here, and this came down and tested support at around 165. Just fell below that 200-day moving average last week, which was, I will admit, very painful. And I ended up adding to it just today, and I added to it last week as well. I have 100 shares of OIH currently for our Own the Chaos portfolio, and I think that this is adding to it today, adding to it all last week was the right move in my opinion, because if this does continue to do if this trend continues as far as the variance concerned, I think there's going to be a lot less worry about whether demand's going to come back for travel. Obviously, the hospitality side of things should start to look a lot brighter too. So I think that there's definitely some good things to look at as far as this is concerned. You look at the XLE, for example, this has actually moved up a little bit better than OIH has, and OIH is kind of lagged behind. When we look at the way that the XLE and even some of the oil plays have moved, OIH has lagged those types of plays. So I like the way that I like this potential opportunity over the other ones, even though I think that energy could lead going into the rest of the year, along with the FANG stocks.
So what's your strategy as far as OIH concerned? Because you just added on, you were already in OIH.
Yeah, so I've been in OIH for some time. I've been in it, and I have an average of $203. So currently, right now, while we're having a great day in OIH, I'm actually still red in it. But I think that the potential for this to hit perhaps 300 by the end of the year is very much in view. So with me being down a few bucks right now on OIH, the upside here I think is still pretty substantial. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for at least a $230 break, and then I may end up trimming some, but I'm holding for 300.
Nice. And I'm in Marathon Oil, so obviously a good day for Marathon today. We'll see if that continues to run. I want to be clear as well. It's easy to, one of the strategies we talk about is like the red zone days, and red days, brutally red days are usually our opportunities and looking for things on discount. So typically a massive red day for the overall market isn't when we're making moves. Oil's just been so beaten down. This was almost like a confirmation day, I would imagine.
Yeah, it grossly underperformed the market over the last couple of months, and which is interesting because it led the market for the first 6 months of the year, just about, and then it was the worst performer over the last two. I think that we could see that change and shift back to it leading the market by the end of the year, just based off of the kind of demand we're seeing, and even when it comes to renewable energy, states such as California have been talking about ramping up production in energy, in renewable energy sources such as wind and solar. And I think that that's the right way to go. And so long term, do I think that I'm going to be able to retire on oil? No, but I think it's still going to need to be relied upon, especially during peak seasons and that sort of thing, until they can get fully sustainable on those renewable energy sources. So with that said, with the travel industry, people are going to be flying around a lot more, road trips, that sort of thing. And let's not forget the infrastructure deal too also benefits oil and the energy sector as a whole, because they're going to be needed to run machinery and all that good stuff. So I think that this is definitely a good opportunity to grab this, even though it's moved up pretty substantially today. I think it's just getting started.
Yeah. Yeah, so those are certainly ones to keep an eye on. And speaking of keeping an eye on things, we will be keeping an eye on Palo Alto, who reports earnings after hours.
Yes.
We don't have too much going on, but that is a company that was on our top stocks for today for the watch list. The things to watch this week. So we'll watch those earnings. Make sure you guys stick around till the market closes. We'll pull up the chart, keep an eye on that. Palo Alto for sure should be a good one.
Yeah.
Moving on, there was legislation, news of legislation that directly impacted drive share. So like Uber and Lyft for sure, but even likes of like DoorDash and companies like that. So this was legislation in California. California ruled that there was a law that was the state was trying to pass that essentially would exempt gig workers from state labor laws. So essentially all you need to know is it would it benefits the company because these gig workers who are traditionally contracted, they wouldn't be subject to state labor laws, which means that companies don't have to pay out the costs associated with having labor.
Right.
And so the court ruled that it was unconstitutional. Doesn't mean that this can't happen in the future. It just makes it more challenging to happen in the future. The companies were red pre-market, but then they actually turned green. Had a decent day as the last time I checked. Seems like not much of a big deal. Do you think this is not a big deal?
I think it's a bigger deal for those who are involved and who this directly impacts than it is the companies themselves. We've seen Uber and Lyft move extremely well, regardless of what's going on as far as the gig side is concerned. I think that it probably will not impact the company as much as people might think, but which I don't know how I feel about in general. I think this obviously isn't a win for the workers if they were looking for to be treated more along the lines of an actual employee. But as far as the company is concerned, I think if anything, it probably helps them more than anything else. But looking at the stock itself, obviously, as you had mentioned, it's actually moving up pretty nicely. Let's take a look at shares of Uber right now. They're up 2.5%. And then we look at Lyft as well. And that is up today. And honestly, like the way that this has come down over the last several weeks, and again, in response to some of the scares revolving around COVID, these are all, I think, good opportunities to grab the dip on, in my opinion. And even though I'm not a huge fan of Dash, the company, I do think the stock is going to continue to perform pretty well here too. It's actually hugging right along that 50-day moving average. So all of these looking pretty good. And I think moving forward, they're probably going to do pretty well too.
Well, let me clarify. This is a blow to the companies. And essentially, if you backtrack, there was I think it was called Prop 5, if I'm not mistaken. Assembly Bill 5. So Assembly Bill 5, and you guys don't have to remember this, but
yeah,
to explain it, it was a bill enacted to make employees full-time employees. And so this Prop 22 was in response to this Assembly Bill 5. And so what the court, when you say it's unconstitutional, basically this bill can't pass. And
right.
So what the companies are trying to do is the companies are essentially trying to decrease their labor on their balance sheet. And so it actually, I think it actually does work for these contracted employees if they ended up, or these contractors, if they end up becoming looking like employees or being treated as employees. And so I think it was said that Lyft, Uber, Instacart, and DoorDash collectively spent more than $200 million to support this ballot. So the one that was deemed unconstitutional, they spent $200 million, and it basically isn't going to be passed. It makes sense why the companies would want this. The companies want to hire contractors so they don't have labor costs, they don't have workers' comp, they don't have unemployment, all the things that go along with hiring somebody.
Right.
My thing about this is, we've talked about this with Uber and Lyft. I don't think this matters too much. I think it just exposes their Achilles heel, which is their cost structure, which is their balance sheet. Their model's great. It's needed. But clearly, they have trouble managing their balance sheet. And so that's going to be the issue. I don't think the answer is to skirt the system and hire people as contractors. You're not going to get quality you're not going to get quality workers. You're not going to get a quality experience. Right. Hire people, hire these drivers, pay them. if you can't make your business model work, then a competitor will come in and make the business model work. That's always been the challenge for Uber. It's like the model is great. That's not a question. Is the business potential for profit there?
Well, yeah, it doesn't help when you pay the CEO $40 million a year either. To continue to be unprofitable, So I think so. I mean, they continue to just grow. I mean, they continue to grow at all costs. And while I do think the stocks are going to continue to go up for a lot of the reasons that you just said, long term, I'm not sure I'm digging any of these, with the exception of maybe DoorDash and Instacart, because I think that they can get away with it. I think that they have actually more of a clear path to profitability than Uber and Lyft do. While not necessarily like outlandishly better, I think that they are better, have, a better setup. Especially, it'll be interesting because, when we come down to a point to where you don't need people to drive these cars to share, to do ride sharing, such as the robo taxis that obviously we have yet to see, but they are coming. It'll be interesting to see how Lyft and Uber actually survive that.
Yeah, we talk a lot about companies that look good for takeover targets. I'm not sure how these companies stand alone successfully. Even DoorDashes of the world, first off, their model sucks. Or as far as compensation, it sucks for these businesses. They're hammering these restaurants, and I hate it. But like, why can't an Amazon buy these companies? Why can't, a Tesla, like Robotaxi, like why can't one of these companies who have massive stockpiles, even like, it sounds crazy, like a Facebook, any of these social networks that have cash, they don't need it to be hugely profitable. It brings people into their ecosystem. It feels like there's opportunity there as well.
Yeah, I agree. We'll see how this all shakes out. Let us know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Do you still like Lyft and Uber? And give us some reasons as to why you like them, even though we kind of painted a pretty tough picture for them. Why do you like them? What's in it for, as far as the future of Uber and Lyft and some of the other ride sharing and gig economy related stuff? Definitely, we'll love to hear from you guys. Right now, we have 110 of you guys hanging out in the live stream. Pretty low day for us, but that's all good. We're still going to be here regardless. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting that like button, we certainly would appreciate it. I'm still trying to hit our 150 like goal. Not sure we're going to hit that today, but it's all good. Let's just try to get to it as close to it as we possibly can.
So moving on to the next topic, Penn's been one of your highest conviction stocks. The industry in general, we're very optimistic about. Recently, August 12th, they just opened up another brick and mortar location, Penn National Gaming in York, Pennsylvania. So exciting to hear how that works out. However, we've talked about that as a catalyst. We've talked about football as a catalyst, but there may have been another catalyst that was just announced in North Carolina. Why don't you tell everybody what's going on down there?
Yeah, so there was a voting proceeding that took place in North Carolina, and it was a little bit difficult to grasp because sports betting has been legal in North Carolina, but there lacked any kind of like actual locations there for sports betting, and so that was what they were voting on in North Carolina last week. It went through the Senate on Thursday, and then we're waiting for that to go through the House in North Carolina as well. But some pretty distinct developments with that. They're going to issue between 10 and 12 licenses to entities that can offer online and in-person betting in pro, college, and Olympic style sports. Obviously, Penn National fits that bill. I would imagine that MGM and some other ones will probably work their way in there as well. But I think this could be another big win for Penn National. This is just kind of what we've been talking about, things that are going to be playing out. I think that we'll see sports betting and sports gambling in every state, and this is a bold prediction. I think we'll see it legalized in every state before we see weed legalized in every state, hands down.
Oh, yeah, easy. There was a quote in the article you sent me, the senator for one of the counties in North Carolina, Lenore County, that said, I look at this as more of a voluntary tax from people already taking place in the market. And it's a good point. There's so much money in gambling, and it's going to happen regardless. Yeah. Like, why not benefit off of it? And that's where a little common sense just needs to come into play. Like the way the digital setup is, weed's a physical product.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit less challenging for me to place a bet. It's very easy for me to place a bet anywhere in the world. It doesn't even matter if it's legal in the US. And
Right.
so just get over it and make the money. There's tons of money to be made. So it's a smart move and it makes sense.
I agree. And we look at Penn today, and it's closed the day. Today, the market officially closed as we were discussing this. Closed the day up nearly 4%, 3.8%. It's actually continuing to climb here after hours trading. If we go to the 5-minute chart, you can see what kind of day it had today. Pretty monstrous day. Obviously the whole market did really well, but it was good to see Penn back up here. And I had mentioned to our folks in the level 3 chaos crew in our morning stream that if this moves up above 73, which is right around the 50-day moving average, I think that I would feel a lot better about this. This certainly looks like we are starting to see a reversal on Penn and really the gaming industry in general. And so this makes me really excited. You guys know that I'm in on this one deep. I'm still red on it, but I'm going to continue to hold these shares as I do see the good long-term potential here for sure. And if you guys aren't a part of the level 3 morning live stream and want more of Own the Chaos, you can click the link in the description below. Go to ownthechaos.com, sign up for the Chaos crew. You can go to level 3, and every single morning I go over all of our watch list stuff, any live trades that I end up making, which today you guys heard me talking about earlier that I bought OIH. I also sold my Apple and traded all those shares in to go buy some Amazon and gave a pretty in-depth reason as to why I did that. So if you guys want to see more explanations, you want questions answered, you want to see my live trades, click the link down in the description below. We'd love to have you guys over there at level 3 Chaos Crew.
All right, market is now closed. We will begin turning our attention to Palo Alto earnings, ticker symbol PANW. And while we're doing that, if you just want to give a snapshot on the market and then what you're expecting from Palo Alto.
Yeah, so the market overall, I had an amazing day. I mean, we look at the averages, they hit record highs today. Nasdaq was up 227 points, 1.5%. The Dow was up 0.5%. S&P closed up nearly 8%. And we have Palo Alto on the docket here as far as earnings are concerned. You can see here, this is the live chart here. I'm going to zoom in on our 5-minute chart to see how this shakes out. Now, when it comes to cybersecurity, this is something that we haven't talked enough about. We've touched on it. We've given it some love, but I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Fat Man Zoom, if you disagree, but I think that, we've always just kind of given that love to CrowdStrike, and for good reason. But Palo Alto is right up there. Their estimated earnings per share today is $1.43. I think that it would be very shocking if they came in anywhere close to that. I think they probably blow it out of the water. We've seen, obviously, through the headlines about the ransomware issues and some of the companies that have been struggling with that, especially smaller businesses, and that could be another market that these companies break into. But there's also the hybrid side, the hybrid work from home side of things as well. So we've talked about how work from home isn't going anywhere, and the longer that people work from home, the less likely they're going back to the office. And we're starting to see that. I mean, Goldman Sachs actually mentioned that they're not having their employees go back to work go back to the office until 2022 now. And so if this continues, the need for cybersecurity is going to continue to grow in demand. And so obviously we love CrowdStrike. That's our favorite one, but there's plenty of market space for other companies to be in here. And Palo Alto is a really good second one too.
Yeah. Cybersecurity should have a place in your portfolio. Palo Alto always beats.
Yeah.
And them as a publicly traded company, they beat every single quarter. There's one that they technically slightly missed by 0.5%, but essentially it met expectations. They don't miss. If you want to make the bear case, I think the bear case is growth and their lack of growth in comparison to a CrowdStrike. That's the issue. If they can increase growth, then they'll be crushing it. I think a company that has a high floor, but I'm not sure how high the ceiling is, a more safer cybersecurity bet, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. And the chart actually looks pretty good too, especially with this pullback. And here we go. It looks like earnings might have popped up here. I just want to jump over to the daily chart.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to show the daily chart and how this has actually had a pretty decent pullback. And we mentioned on Stockwatch Sunday that this might actually be one that was a more of a safer bet to hold through earnings. But go ahead. You got them?
No, I don't. I thought I did, but it's
not. Okay.
I will say revenue is estimated at 1.17 billion. I don't know if we gave that number.
No, we didn't. I just gave earnings per share. Right now, after hours, though, it is up another 3.33%. Closed the day up 1.5% and is still climbing here. Closed it at 372.63 and is now trading at 386 after hours. So pretty good move here so far for Palo Alto, and it's still climbing. Fat Man Zoom. Boner candle alert.
I love it.
Man, it is still cruising here in Palo Alto now, approaching 390 a share. It's up over 4%. Philip Stroh, just want to give him a shout out. Welcome to the Chaos Crew, my man. If you guys are interested in being part of the Chaos Crew, you can click the join button next to subscribe. We actually put out a watch list every single day of the week, and to give you a snapshot of what the market's doing in the morning before the market opens. If you guys want to be a part of the crew, hit that join button. We'd love to have you guys in the community.
Yeah, so they beat, what'd you say, 143 was the estimate?
Yeah.
Came in at 160. No revenue numbers yet.
No revenue numbers, but I would imagine their guidance is probably pretty good too. Now just hit 392. It's up 5% after hours and continuing to go up from here. Man, what a solid move. Guys, by the way, we got 120 of you in here. If you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, we certainly would appreciate it. We got 57 likes in the house. I think we can do better. Let's try to get it to 100.
Revenue estimates was 1.17 billion. It came in at 1.2 billion.
Nice. So they beat on, looks like they beat on revenue and on earnings per share. So pretty solid beat out of Palo Alto. This is still going off, bro. And now it's up 5.5%.
Wow.
Still getting bought up.
I wonder if they announce like buybacks or dividends or just increased guidance, because the beats aren't enough. There's like a slight beat on both. So there's got to be some other good news in there.
Fiscal fourth quarter revenue grew 28% year over year, according to Jeff Ponica. Yeah, it's still pretty solid. But yeah, I would imagine there's something else in here. And we haven't touched on that either, but there's been a lot of buybacks from a lot of companies on their earnings calls. And we kind of focused on the banks as far as that's concerned, but there's been a lot of other companies doing that too.
Yeah, some people are skeptical about that, and they feel like it's an indictment on ability to use cash flow. It's like they want to see money towards growth, but I love it. I think it's just such a smart move to do it. Obviously, you still should spend money other places. But I wouldn't underestimate that as a tool in the CEO's tool belt.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. The Palo Alto is still climbing here after hours. It is up now 6.5%. I closed the day at 372 and just hit 397. Damn. That's crazy. Pretty solid move. If you guys are just joining us, we are covering the Palo Alto earnings call. And they came in and beat $1.60 to the estimated $1.43. Came in and beat on revenue as well, and it is going the hell off here after hours. It is now up at 6% in after hours trading, and it is still climbing here, 6.5% now. Jeez, a whiz.
Shout out Daniel Camarena in the house. What's up, brother?
Hey, Daniel Camarena from the FedEx warehouse. Up, man? Yeah, man, this is awesome. Still rolling. 7% coming up.
I like it.
Yeah, if you guys didn't catch last night's stream for Stockwatch Sunday, we talked about this. This is one of my stocks to watch this week, and I had mentioned, just the demand for cybersecurity, and I thought that this one would be, while risky. We always talk about how there's a lot of risk involved holding anything through earnings. That this one could be more of a safer bet if you were willing to take a little bit of risk. And so far, so good. It is continuing to roll here now up 7% after hours. Looks like it's trying to make a push towards 400 here. It's sitting at 399.43 in the highs after hours trading. We'll see if this gets pushed up through it. I think if it breaks 400, it could really start to get nutty here. Let's see where this was at. 406.92 was the previous all-time high, it looks like. Yes, 406.92 was the previous all-time high. And before it hit that 406 number, it looks like it actually kind of had a pretty decent sideways movement at that 400 range. So we'll see if this actually breaks through that 400. I think that's a pretty crucial spot there, Fat Man Zoom. That ends up happening.
Yeah, yeah, I'm really impressed. I don't see. There's something I'm not seeing. I mean, guidance came in a little higher. There it is. Share buyback. $676 million for share repurchases.
Yeah, they called that one.
Yeah.
Called that one.
Yeah, that's what. So that's most likely what it is. And all good stuff, man.
Yeah, bro.
Slight raise on guidance. That was good too. All good stuff for the company.
Absolutely. I think we're going to continue to see more and more of these companies buying back shares. Just as they were able to raise money through obviously doing, a lot of these companies were able to raise money by issuing shares. And so now they're taking them back and repaying the investor for that dilution. So, I mean, I'm not saying that Palo Alto was part of that, but as this is now just hit 399.99, there it is 400. But yeah, I think this is just going to continue to become a trend. I think we'll see more and more share buybacks and more mergers and acquisitions than I think that we've seen in some time, just because of the sheer amount of growth that a lot of these companies have had, Fat Man Zoom, and some of the smaller companies I think are going to get swallowed up.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. Well, solid earnings. We're 1 for 1 today. Tomorrow, which obviously will be live tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. We're live every Monday through Thursday. Tomorrow, pre-market, we have Best Buy. Advanced Auto Parts should be interesting to see how they perform.
Yeah.
Really, that's all I would say for pre-market. Then after hours into it, Nordstrom should be one to keep an eye on for sure for tomorrow. So make sure you guys hit that like, hit the subscribe, and the notification bell, most importantly.
That's going to do it for us, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that thumbs up on your way out the door, we certainly would appreciate it. That's going to do it for me, Fat Man Zoom. We out. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.